So, on the back side, there's a question number 15. And it has to do with nitrogen reacting with 3H2 and making 2 ammonia, NH3. Okay? So there's a bunch of things that I could ask about this. So these are all gases. Okay? So let's start with something simple. They're all gases. What would you predict the sign of delta S to be for this reaction? Positive and negative?
Negative.
Why? You're going from 4 moles of gas down to 2 moles of gas. So delta S should be based upon that, delta S should be a negative delta S. Does Mother Nature like that or not? Doesn't like that. But obviously this reaction happens, okay, because we can produce ammonia, right? So therefore, if the reaction is going to happen, what do you know the sign of delta H has to be? Negative. Why? Because if you had a positive delta H with a negative delta S, what would happen? It would never happen because you'd have both going in opposite directions. So I got a negative delta H and a negative delta S. Spontaneous at high temperature, spontaneous at lower temperatures. Below a certain point. Okay, cool. So that's one thing I can ask. So what's going to happen here? And I promise you, if you get done with the test and you haven't worked one like number 15, you have done something wrong. Okay? Now, it got a little bit screwed up when I made the copies, but if you look on that answer key, you've got, let me explain what, and I realized this after I ran these off. So, you got to start, oddly enough, set up a rice chart, okay? And you got 0.2 moles of nitrogen, and you have 0.2 moles of the hydrogen, and you have no ammonia to start with. Now, this is not a nice 1-to-1 ratio, because you've got 3 hydrogens reacting with 1 nitrogen, and you're producing 2 moles of NH3. So this is all about the stoic. Now, this is what I need to clarify. So if this is what I showed you, is that how you can do the stoic and figure out, hey, how much hydrogen and nitrogen are you actually going to consume? So if you do the stoic, you'll see that hydrogen is a limiting reactant, mainly because of the fact that you need a lot of hydrogen because you're reacting 3 moles of hydrogen with every 1 mole of nitrogen. So underneath there, I have minus 0.067, and that's right. So of the 0.2 moles of nitrogen, we're going to use 0.067 of it. But I put an extra 0, so that difference should be 0.133, not 0.0133. So on that answer sheet, okay, when I did that stoic, I don't know why I inserted an extra 0 in there in that particular part of it, okay? So if you take 0.2 minus 0.067, you should get 0.133. I was tired, I was 0 happy, I put in an extra 0, don't know why. But it should be 0.133. Now, when you do the stoic on the other side, you're also going to produce 0.133 moles of ammonia. It randomly worked out that way, okay? Don't look at this and go, oh, those numbers will always be the same. No, it just randomly worked out that way, okay? There's nothing magic. Oh, they're both the same. They'll always both be the same. Yay, no, okay? It randomly worked out that way. So, and that's all the stoic that I'm showing you. So when you're trying to find the overall total pressure, and you're going to use PV equals nRT, the number of moles is going to be the total moles of the nitrogen that's still remaining and the ammonia that was produced. And that's what I showed you up in that top left corner where I've got the 0.133 and the 0.133. So I didn't put the extra 0 in there, but for some reason I put the extra zero in, and when I subtracted, I was looking at it going, that's not right, why is there an extra zero? So anyway, so that's so the overall answer is right, but I just don't want you to get confused and go, man, how did you get 0.0133? I screwed up, I put in an extra zero that I shouldn't have. So if you can do this, you'll be okay, but also know, like, and this is why I kind of got this catch-all, like on number 9, know the following terms and trends on the periodic table: electronegativity, electron affinity, and first ionization energy, okay? Be able to answer those questions. Empirical and molecular formulas. What's the difference between empirical and molecular formula? Bingo. And molecular will always be a multiple of the empirical. Anyway, with all that said, you know, that my concern is also that I had kind of given you some assignments. I really didn't make them do. I've got some time. I'll just put those answer keys out if you want to look through and go, hey, what I would suggest, maybe you look over those assignments that I gave you, and if you have one and you look at it and you go, oh my God, I have no idea how to work that problem, you might take your phone and maybe take a picture of that so that you have that. So just in case you're at home, it's like you read that problem, like, oh man, that's horrible. Okay, that way you would at least have that. So I am done. You're on your own. Test tomorrow. Simple lab Monday. We'll clean out the lab Tuesday and make liquid nitrogen ice cream.
Yay.
So that's kind of the.
Homework on Monday.
It's just gonna be that simple lab right up there.
Okay, Pat.
Can you put the go back on?
Thank you. We should watch the rest of the.
We can do that on Tuesday.
I didn't think you were like coming in dirty to anything. Oh, if I would've put the game back, like, you could be mad that you lost. I was detail work. Yeah. You know, honestly, I hate Kirby more than anything. I appreciate Kirby.
I feel like he should have a necklace.
So, Mr. Burkamp, he's giving necklace.
Hold on.
He's busy right
I'm
now.
goading.
This is amazing.
Can't you see the way
This is the greatest moment of this class period.
I like genuinely don't, I genuinely want to know.
This is the greatest moment of it.
Show your map before you spit
It's a chin hair.
Bro, what are these for?
Goats have chin hair.
I'm too scared. Tonight. Great.
Oh, he's got a chain. He's got a chain.
Oh.
Is that Charles?
Oh, not too.
Oh my God, they decided on the
Say
post.
KSU. It's the go.
Huh?
Wait, what? We have a puppy now?
We have a post now apparently.
What's his name?
I don't know. My boyfriend just texted me. Hold on. I don't know why he texted me. He's an atheist. He's been keeping up.
Is he an atheist?
Cardinal.
Swear
What?
to God.
Cardinal Robert Prevost.
Bob.
I don't know who he is.
Bob.
Bob.
He's Bob now.
Oh, Bob.
Oh, Bob. We have a new pope.
He's the first American pope. Wow.
He's
American pope.
That's a mistake.
They voted him.
Hold on.
Oops.
What? Would be a really
You
good
have
art
to take
teacher.
a picture.
He'll be known as Pope Leo.
Pope Leo?
Pope Leo.
No, he's Pope Bob.
Pope Bob.
I saw that.
He called for peace and paid tribute to the late Pope Francis. Pope Francis. He's 69 years old and from Chicago.
That's the first one.
He's from Chicago.
He's from Chicago.
Chicago.
The Pope's from
Great.
Chicago.
The mafia is running.
Not, yeah. This
Yeah.
dude definitely
post
strapped.
your
He
artwork?
is definitely strapped at all times. No way.
You asked
Throw up the
what?
gang sign.
Throw up a gang sign real quick.
Yo! This is fire!
You get asked. You should not get asked.
I was talking about Buttercream.
That was good.
Abby.